Hi, let's I guess for the audience, let's introduce ourselves and also for each other. My name is Polina. I do Mutant Transmissions radio. Very happy to sit down and talk to you guys today.
Hello.
I'm
Cemgil. My music partner is Yigit. We are from originally Turkey, but currently we are living in Vienna, and we are doing also the music in Vienna since 2019. But our music careers is quite old because we know each other from. We don't know each other, but we made the same concert when we were in the high school in a small bar in our town, Izmir, Turkey. And it was the first experience with us.
We were kind of rival bands, actually. We didn't like each other. We didn't even met in the backstage. I mean, it's a funny story because normally in this kind of situations, everyone gets to know each other. I don't know, like Izmir doesn't have a huge alternative music scene, but yeah, we didn't have the chance. And in Vienna only, by a common friend, we started to try things first. Actually, we met where we got really became friends was a film shooting set where we both helped a friend to shoot a documentary film. Yeah, that's how it started. Then Cemgil had a project for his art school, a finishing project, and he wanted some help from me. If we can set up some audio, some sound installation. And we made our first song by then, the Kunst, with the samples of the Strache. There was this Ibiza happening in Austria. If you know, if you don't know, it's like it's still not completely unrevealed, let's say. It's still in the process, what happened, but we understand it as a corrupted politics, and we just wanted to reflect on that, let's say.
Okay, just to backtrack, your band is called Zack Zack Zack, right? Am I saying it right?
Yes, I think
it's actually in English. In English, it's like Zack Zack Zack, but in German, it's like Zack Zack Zack.
And in Turkish?
Zack Zack Zack.
Almost sounds German, like how German
Almost
should sound.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. However you say it, it doesn't mean really one thing. It's more of a saying, or more of a, like, whatever you take off, let's say. But it's the meaning is actually in German is more like fast and right away and practical, things like that. And our music is also a bit like that. We are working fast, and we are always bringing those ideas somehow to the sunshine, to the real to become a real music quite fast. If we don't, then it's gone. You know, if we spend too much time on one thing, it's just lost. We have so many tracks like that, maybe, I don't know, 30 or 40 that it just didn't happen. It has to be Zack Zack Zack, like fast.
Okay, guys. So I have right away a question. In Turkey, you both were in wave bands, or what kind of bands were they? The bands that you were competing with each other? What was the sound?
For us, it was like a cover band. We were doing some Turkish and international songs covers. It was kind of high school band, I should say, for me.
Yeah, both. I mean, I was like 17, I was 17, I think, and we were playing the popular songs of the Turkish music scene, let's say, but all of them were rock music. And there used to be a huge genre in Turkey, like Anatolian rock, let's say. There is still, of course, Anatolian rock, but in those times it was quite a hit, and we were usually playing Anatolian rock hits.
So what's the progression from Anatolian rock to now you're doing like synthwave, like really super catchy, but it's quite obscure. It's connected to a scene that's pretty hidden. So how did you guys get there?
You start, Yigit.
Really?
Because of
Okay.
these guys. Yeah. I mean, Cemgil started to talk about She Passed Away after we met and we got friends. And I was like, I know them. I heard about them a couple of years ago. I'm like, yeah, not a big deal. And so, and he was like, oh, how can you say it's not a big deal? It's the best band in the world. And I was like, yeah, okay, let me listen to it again. And so, and it kind of completed the search of the sound for us, because we were like listening to music together, we were trying to make something together, and in the end, in these breaks, we were listening She Passed Away, or I don't know, Jacuzzi, or usually post-punk bands, sometimes noise, and it just happened to be like we didn't really choose this genre. We didn't even know that we were doing synthwave until we released the album, to be honest.
And
yes.
Oh, please go ahead.
I mean, for us, yes, these She Passed Away and the members of She Passed Away, for us, at least for us, it's kind of quite art. It's not just the music. And we started also this project kind of an art performance. That's why, I mean, we like their music because it's quite something interesting, not boring, but also monotone. It's something different, not just music.
It also contains a message in this music. We also wanted to deliver a message in our music. We didn't want it to just sound good or just, but more like we wanted to say something, or even maybe make you feel something, and that kind of thinking got us into this sound, to be honest. In the beginning, we were more looking with what kind of sounds is there, and I had a one drum machine, TR-09, and we started to build up beats with that, and so, and it just happened to be those synthesizers and the guitar sound just fit so well. And Cemgil was basically playing some riffs from She Passed Away, and I was like, stop, you're playing She Passed Away now, something else. And yeah, it's more of an inspiration process, I think. All those bands, all those years that we listened and music, and in the end, it was just popping from our heads, this music, nothing else. I mean, you see this sauce behind Cemgil. Actually, we both have different kind of perspectives in our lives, in our art, that is not synthwave or that is not post-punk-ish at all, maybe, but where we are both in the common zone is this sound and these bands and this genre, and especially this kind of art.
It's quite interesting, your journey from Turkey to Austria, and both of you. How did this happen? How did you end up in Austria?
My story is easier. I tell first, maybe, because I was studied in a German school in Izmir for about 10 years, and I wanted to live in outside of Turkey. I visited many countries in Europe, and I really loved it. And in the end, Vienna was actually a bit of a coincidence, to be honest. I wanted to first go to Berlin and study there, but no, yeah, in the end, I said no. Berlin is too chaotic. I'll choose something more, I don't know, something easier, or maybe more where I can mend with the other artists. And yeah, I've been here about 9 years now, and I'm studying the bachelor here since 9 years. Okay, you can cut that part.
You're a professional student, as they say.
Yeah, you can say that. I'm working and I'm studying as well, but the studying part is complicated. Let's say it's not just about studying. I mean, what I'm studying is more of an intellectual. I'm studying theater, film, and media studies, and it doesn't bring me any kind of job if I even get the, it's more like of a intellectual, it's more like a theoretical part of studies. So I'm combining always whatever I learn or whoever I meet in the university to my own artwork, to my job.
Is there some stuff you can actually send me so I can show it during the interview? Maybe some of your art pieces?
Actually, Cemgil has this a very nice art piece that we also put in the video clip, this bench that they're sitting, and maybe we can talk about that. Cemgil can also, there is a paper about it, right? There is even a website about it, Cemgil.
Really? Tell us more.
Yes, I mean, also the story of the Austria is quite interesting because I studied first the civil engineering in Izmir, and then after that I decided to come here to study my master. But I wanted always to study kind of creative things too, and that's why I study also the fine arts, kind of design and graphic design. But also we had really some free lectures, I should say, kind of performance arts and other ones. That's why we met, actually. We wanted to do some noise musics. I mean, I like kind of really huge and raw materials. That's why we used in the video clip this bench. Its name is Borderless Bench, I should say. Made in 2019, but it was, I made just a small model, and then I thought that, okay, let's put something kind of separator between the people inside of the video clip, but we see also the separator or the border kind of glass. The
it's
people can
transparent.
see each other.
It's not really there. It's there, but it's not really there. It's like, it was I think abstracts of the Cemgil's idea, like that's these borders actually are existent, yes, but they're also not existent.
For artists or for everyone?
For everyone.
You saying the borders are an artificial creation of politicians? And in reality,
yes, the reality, there is no borders. There was the border maybe in Berlin, some kind of real border with the wall, but in general, there is just some...
Switzerland, maybe.
Maybe, yes. We talking about in general borders. Some kind of differences between us.
Like physical borders and the non-physical borders. It was like a really big idea, or like, how do you say, like really abstract, that these borders that we see, also in the video clip, that they're trying to touch each other or kiss each other, but there is actually nothing. We don't see that glass in the video clip. We just see a strip of the glass, but it's there. So we were playing around with this idea, and yeah, that's why we put the artwork actually there.
It's really interesting, and definitely going to show that piece in the video in there. So that actually brings us back to Turkey. How much freedom did you as an artist feel or didn't feel in Turkey to express yourself? Or is it a scary question to even answer?
No, it's okay. It's also not a big deal to talk about. It's not really big deal to talk about. Yes, I mean, to be an artist in Turkey, it's quite hard, and also not free, of course. I mean, first of all, you cannot do whatever you want.
There is pressure, whatever
Yes.
there is a radical idea. It doesn't even have to be radical. There, as long as it's an opposite idea of the majority, that is usually not so accepted. And since the Erdogan regime, it's just got things more intense in that sense. Let's say. I mean, for example, my mother is also an artist. She's a glass artist. She's been doing it since, I don't know, 25 years. And
Oh my
she has
God.
incredible.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know if
Yeah.
one of the best glass museums is in upstate New York. I don't know if you ever had a chance to go to America, or your mother.
One time
Did
I've been in New York.
Did you guys visit this glass museum?
No.
Me, no.
Oh, guys.
But I know.
You know what I'm talking about. It's like world
I
famous.
know.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. You were
No,
saying your
no
mom is a
problem.
glass artist.
Yes, I mean, she didn't had maybe more than 3 times a chance to make an exhibition, even though her artworks got international recognition. There is absolutely no interest, let's say, of the art like that we are today as the Western world understanding. That maybe the art is understood different in Turkey, so it's a bit hard to talk about it like that, because it's really, if you look historically, it was banned to draw a face for about 500 years. So that's why they became experts to paint a rose, you know. So the people's expectations are different. But what's really different than Austrian or the European scene, art scene, and the Turkish art scene, if I have to say, that the underground art scene is much more intense in Turkey, because it has to be. It has to be hidden. It has to be more radical than that it can be exhibited, and it has to be more direct, let's say. And it's absolutely not about money. There is no money at all going around. So for me, the biggest difference was that the appreciation, to be honest, that we are like this kind of music wouldn't be accepted so easily in Turkey. You know, maybe you know the story of Sheep Astale and why they moved to Greece. The same story, kind of.
I don't know exactly why they moved, but I would imagine they made Joanna, the record label, and they just had an opportunity. I don't know if there's actual danger in Turkey, because my parents were artists in Soviet Union, and it's also super intense underground scene.
Yes.
And people disappearing, going to jail, like there's actual danger. It's not just lack of funds or.
As we said in the last song, by the way, I mean, this kind of, so in the some kind of political attacks, a lot of people disappeared. And we said in the last song some kind of similar things about that. And I mean, and the last point is that of course, the economical problems in Turkey, if you want to be an artist. I mean, for example, the painters started to be tattoo artists. I'm not saying maybe, I mean, they like their jobs, but in the end, if they would be like a painter, they know that they cannot sell their paintings. But on the other hand, maybe it's easy or kind of trendy. I mean,
it feels like that, honestly. Maybe it's not true, but to me, it feels like it's like this everywhere. I mean, even in New York, even in Berlin, there's a very select number of people who are able to commercialize their art, and the rest, like when I lived in Berlin, we all survived on doing few gigs, 100 euros, and just lived with no money.
Yes, exactly. But in Turkey, it's zero. I mean, that's why. I'm just telling that I know.
You need to have a garden, basically.
Yes, yes. At least also in Vienna, there is really huge scenes and really good music listeners. they have also really good supports. But of course, if okay.
But I mean, if you're talking about art or music, a little bit different. I guess with music, you will be able to tour. I mean, maybe in Turkey you can, but in Europe you definitely can. With artists, unless you're falling into people who are getting grants or something. I mean, maybe you know more than me. I know more about America. Many people are totally getting another job and supporting themselves. They can't get any job with art.
No,
Many
no,
people.
it's too hard.
But yeah, but my question was, one thing that was in my mind when I hear the Turkish underground, is it comparable to Soviet Union back in the day? Because Erdogan's regime really, that's why I was wondering if it was even too sensitive for you to answer, because your family is probably there. It is like this for
Exactly.
Russians.
Something similar, but the tastes are different. For example, me personally, I like the Soviet history and architecture. That's why I'm also interested in also the Soviet underground. Also, my cousin studied in Minsk, Belarus. I mean, I have been also some cities in this part of the world. So I should say the people like different things sometimes, but in the end, the atmosphere is almost same, so similar.
Yeah, the pressure is absolutely similar. That the political situation is very similar. But what meant Cemgil, I think, is this, how do you say, vielfältigkeit, like how many different kind of the diversity is maybe in Turkey is bigger. There is much more diversity in sense of arts because of the many different kind of cultures, let's say. I am not such an expert in the Russian history, to be honest, but I can say when we talk about the Turkish underground art scene, we got to split Istanbul and the rest of Turkey. Because Istanbul has everything, all kind of whatever you think of, whatever genre, whatever, I don't know, everything. But it's not the same maybe in Izmir, our own hometown, or the Ankara, the capital city, or this, etc. So in our hometown, we were not exposed to the underground art scene a lot, at least from my side. I saw it more in the Europe when I started to make art, when I started to study and so on, that there is this local support. That's how I realized it, that once you come up with something, a piece of art, and say, hey, this is me and this is mine, and I think of that, and then people actually appreciate it and talk about it, and they ask questions and so on. But in Turkey, not very much. In Turkey, more of like, it's like more of like, yeah, I like it, or I don't like it, kind of a situation. So yeah, again, it's really hard to compare, I think.
It's funny. When I lived, before I moved to Belgium, I lived in Berlin. And I think this is before Erdogan took over. And the queer scene, a lot of people were saying Turkey was the next Berlin, because people like, Berlin is getting super gentrified and people were looking for the next thing. So all these gay artists were moving, and queer gay artists were moving to Istanbul. And they were saying how it's safe, it's totally cheap, it's the best place to be. I'm really wondering if it's, with this new regime, is it still like this? Is it safe for queer and gay artists, or not so much?
Not so much.
Yeah.
What should I say? I mean, it's not the same. Also, for example, in Turkey, really good artists, where they were in 90s, for example, they should be still really famous, but they cannot. Also, the transgenders cannot. I mean, I don't know how to say, but it changed. And I know what you say, that Istanbul is the next Berlin, because this internationality or multi-culti cities were the next step, and Istanbul was the kind of East and West mixture. But
not
It
anymore.
still is. It still is. I would say it still is. It's just there is a pressure since a long time, and it just this pressure keeps going on. But the people are there, and there is still, for sure, artists and art going on. But the biggest problem is, I would say, I mean that's my comment. That in the Turkey there was no Renaissance. Never happened. We never killed the god. So the god keeps living in Turkey, and it's very powerful. So it's about that.
I'm not sure about this. I don't know if I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think now maybe you have some kind of slide back, but Turkey is huge art place for mosaics and like for thousands of years, center of culture for the world.
Exactly, the oldest village.
Santa Claus is from Turkey. I mean, not that has anything to do with anything.
Even if he's famous in winter, he's coming from the South Turkey. I mean, but the pressure feeds the artists, by the way. I mean,
exactly, totally. You get the best art.
They will explode in some years. It cannot go like this. And one day they will explode and they will bring everything to everywhere. My hope is this.
Do you tour in Turkey now? Not like, are you touring right now, or would you tour? Would bands go to Turkey and be able to tour from underground scene? Music,
Me,
not
I
art.
would like to.
Is it possible? Would people come?
Yes, yeah, why not? Why not?
But you cannot play the music after 12 now. It's also funny.
Well,
for now, yeah, there is a rule like that until 12 o'clock. Or
where was it?
Yeah, but yeah, I think we could play in Turkey. Definitely in Istanbul, in Izmir. In Izmir, we have a friend circle that are actually also making underground music festivals. I mean, maybe not very underground, but there is this fair in Izmir, and they started a couple of years ago to invite international musicians to make festivals, and it's usually alternative genres.
So now we're gonna put all the links in that square for these guys.
Sure.
And some flyers if they exist.
Yes,
I mean, surely they exist.
Yes, that's in Izmir Fair. I don't think it will be happening this year. It's usually happening in summer, but it happened in 2018 and in 2019. And we would love to play there. And also there are bands in Turkey that are similar to our sounds. We would love to play with them as well. Maybe with Jacuzzi, maybe with Gaye Su Akyol, maybe with Bubi Tuzak. I don't know. There are really good artists that we would love to collaborate.
So we're coming back to No Borders. The whole concept of No Borders.
Yes.
Turkish festival inviting international bands, Turkish bands moving away and bringing the music internationally. It's all back to a bench.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, Zack, Zack, Zack. Because we've been really not talking about the band at all so far. Kind of around the band. How did it start? When was your first album? And then, okay, I'm not going to ask too many questions at once. How did it start and the first album story, please?
The first album, actually the album is not out yet. We made an EP first, a 5-track. But before those 5 tracks, we put out 3 singles that it's not available at all right now because we deleted them. Kunst is there, Brno is, yeah, they're all available in the Bandcamp, yes. And those are our first singles. And afterwards, I mean, we were looking for the sound. We were trying to search, we were trying to find our own sound and what do we want to do. And in the end, after a year, after these 3 singles, things started to ripen up. I don't know what really happened, but I think one big step was that we worked with this producer from Turkey, Bedük, that one of our actually, let's say, childhood heroes, because he's quite older than us and he is an electro music artist,
Producer.
a producer, and he agreed to produce this 5-track with us. He made the masterings, he gave us some mentoring and so on, and it was just really good. It satisfied us, and we decided to release those. That's the EP1.
Oh my
But
God, your new
after that-
song is so catchy. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we were happy with Bedük, but in the end we wanted to try with someone else too. We wanted to grow. We always are looking for something new. So then Görkem Karabudak came along from Istanbul with the suggestion of Hakan Tamar, our friend in Radio Eksen in Istanbul, and he just gave just another spice in it. We were not expecting that at all, and he mixed it. He gave us some hints, and the newest single came out, Bak. And we want to continue with Görkem Karabudak actually to complete the album. We are thinking 12 tracks. We have already the 5-track. We will include this EP1 into the album, and the Bak as well. That makes 6. So there will be 6 more new songs, hopefully. And we will be releasing this album hopefully by the end of the year.
And what are your contact? How do people find you? Is it just Bandcamp? Do you have a website?
We have a website.
Zack Zack Zack.
Zack Zack Zack.
.com.
Live.
Live. Fancy.
Yes. Thank you. We have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have Spotify, we have Bandcamp.
I can see that you're a professional student. You're like, okay, I've learned a lot of stuff at school. I'm gonna use all of it.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing this first time. I've been working as a sound engineer since some time, and I always did this for other people. I was like, hey, do you have a Facebook? Yeah, no, you gotta have a Facebook page. It's the most important thing. Come on, just open it and so on. So I just applied whatever I know to the band, and it just worked. I mean, the most important thing is, I think, the energy. If there is a real energy in the song, in the project, that brings it out, or it just magnets the right people and the right things into the project. That's how I feel like it at least.
Yeah, you have to be proactive. I mean, you contacted me, even though I knew your band, and I think we even spoken before. I spoke to one of you guys a long time ago, but like it was the right moment for you to write me again, and you wrote me, and voila, all of this happens. So
see, that's
thank you very much for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
Okay, guys, I want to talk a little bit about your live show. Have you been playing live already with Zack Zack Zack?
Yes, but not a big concert yet. We were playing in small places, more of an exhibition. We played first time in Elektroakustisches Museum Wien. That's like an old museum that was an exhibition for Cemgil's art school for finishing year, and it was nice. There was really bad acoustic. There was very bad delay and reverb.
The sound man had bad acoustic.
Yeah, I had no choice. It was a huge place, an empty place. I didn't have I don't know. And we were playing, like I said, always in small avenues. We never had the chance so far to play in a bar or I don't know, in a concert hall because of the corona. The moment we we released our EP1, that there it was the bit middle of the Corona phase. So far, we didn't have that chance, but hopefully we will be announcing next month a very big concert in Vienna that will be for free. And we are hoping to see you, all our friends and fans. And yeah, we are excited. Hopefully that will happen.
So both of you are artists. If you had the space to do it, I want to know, what would you do conceptually with a show? If you had the resources, how does that look like?
Good question. I mean, for me, I would like to design the stage as kind of, I mean, the lights are really important for us. I mean, we like the nostalgia and also the kind of retro things, but with the new technological equipments. That's why we would like to use the light with kind of daylight, maybe this kind of yellows. Yeah. But we like the smokes a lot because it's coming from 80s and 90s. I mean, it should be full of smoke everywhere. And
yeah, because we are using these MIDI and analog synthesizers, there is these MIDI messages going around that we can actually automate these lights. We have already this idea and project, but like you said, we need the resources for that. It's maybe one day we will do it. Since we're playing everything from Ableton Live, I mean, that's okay. Maybe that was a secret, but not really. That's everything is playing real time. That's all the instruments recorded or not recorded that is playing real time is actually happening in the digital world. So we can convert these messages to lights. That was the plan, and make a interesting, flashy, retro style light show we wanted to do.
I guess that's going to bring us to the nerd part, music nerd part of our interview. Let's talk about equipment. And if you have it, if you have something to show, please do show your synths or whatever you have next to you.
For Cemgil, it's easier.
Yeah, what do you use? What do you love? What do you have but don't use?
Me, I use some basic equipments because I like the sounds. I mean, first of all, for me, I mean, a huge fan of Lindrum, the drum machine. I mean, Lindrum for me, it's real and really like punchy sound, and I like a lot. And for some synth sounds, I would like to use some Juno 60 or 106. But I make the riffs. Oh, can you hear me?
We are hearing you.
Okay.
We hear you.
And for the first riffs, I always use my guitar, my electric Fender Stratocaster. That's I like a lot, with some high tension effects. That I create the sounds first, like this.
Yes, and the thing is, we are usually using Roland synthesizers. That was a intentional choice because we love Roland synthesizers, I guess, and the synth sounds of the 80s, especially with the I don't know, the bands that we like use them, and we try to find the original equipment that they used. Mostly, if we can't, we bought some of the modern versions of it. We are trying to use always analog equipment, never digital programs and so on. And because of the sound, basically. I have a GV 1080 that it's a rack synthesizer. That gives me a lot of interesting sounds that I'm using. Cemgil has a D10, a stage piano that has also interesting sounds in it. And our drums, like he says, is Lindrum, sometimes TR-09 or 909. We used to use 808 as well. In Secretariat, we used 808. Otherwise, I have a very old guitar that it's about 45 years old from old Czechoslovakia, that it's handmade, but it's cheap.
Random.
But it's random, yeah.
What about what about some traditional Turkish instruments? I know you're probably sick of it, but it could be so interesting, especially about uniting the world, you know, crossing the borders.
Mm-hmm.
That
Exactly.
section,
In this
that
position
section,
also.
yes. That section is, belongs to our Çağrı, our friend who played the cümbüş there. There are several instruments that we are using also in the upcoming album. It will be, I actually wanted to keep it as a surprise, but let's say there will be a wind instrument that it's will be Turkish, very Turkish. If anyone knows, they can guess. It's older than pan flute, let's say.
Yeah,
it's a very sad flute, let's say. The saddest flute that you can hear in the world. Yes. That it sounds like a human voice. I can describe it like that. That it's like a crying human voice. But a very nice one, a really nice,
okay.
that we are using it. I want that person to be playing in the show. We always want to bring the real instruments on the stage, but usually it's not so possible in these corona times, you know. But let's see, I hope.
Your player is your friend who plays is in Turkey or in Austria?
No, in Austria. Everyone is in Austria at this point.
A little bit easier.
Yeah.
It's really international band. But we live all in Vienna. The saxophone player, Oli Joestar from Ukraine, and the singer, Melody Begüm Ünlüsü, also from Turkey, but she lives in Vienna.
Any more collaborators, or it's
yes, I would like to also say that, for example, for our the EP1 cover, Rasul Hosseini, originally from Afghanistan, lives in Vienna. In the video, we worked with we did this project with Haydulf Gangros, Angela Conti, Marie Klakl, Mariam Alkan.
How did you find all these people?
Our friends, basically. Our friends. I mean, most of them are friends. Also, we work with them in the different projects, actually. Like Yigit, I mean, we worked in for a film project, and then we keep our contacts and doing some new projects with them. Basically, they are really professional people, but we were all this kind of friend group.
Yeah, they were so nice to help us collectively. I mean, I have to say here that we had zero money relationship between us, and that's not about the profit or whatever. Everyone knows about it. That who contributed to this project. For example, the cameraman Deniz Donstad is a brilliant person who is very young at this for doing this job, but still. He did a great job, even though that I wrote my name as a director. I mean, he was doing a very big part of it.
Good question. Our album is coming. Please follow and keep the contact, warm us.
And of course, I'm hoping I'm gonna get all the stuff from you. So every time we're talking about something, it's gonna go in that other square. And if any of your collaborators have music or art projects, we can also include that and link them up.
It's amazing. Really, it's really amazing.
But
you're taking notes, right?
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for the interview. I'm looking forward to seeing your live show.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Mutant Transmissions. Mutant Transmissions.